You know the feeling, right? You've got this amazing idea, but the second you open up PowerPoint or Google Slides, that feeling of dread just washes over you. You just know you're about to lose hours, maybe even a whole day, just fiddling with design. It's that exact struggle that's caused the AI presentation market to just explode. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise and find the absolute best content-focused alternative to a tool a lot of folks start with, Beautiful.ai. So here's the game plan. First up, we're going to define a huge issue we're calling the content gap problem. Then we'll introduce a totally different kind of tool, Twistly AI. After that, we'll see how it stacks up against some other specialized tools out there before we wrap it all up with our final verdict. Okay, let's kick things off with the big one. This is the fundamental problem that's holding back most presentation tools today. It's the reason why, just having pretty slides isn't really cutting it anymore. I mean, who doesn't, right? We have all been there, getting completely bogged down in templates and fonts and aligning boxes when all you really want to do is get your ideas out there fast. But the real-time suck, if we're being honest, it isn't just the visuals, is it? It's the thinking, the structuring, the actual writing. And that, right there, brings us to the core of the issue. This is what we call the content gap. It's when an AI tool is great at making your slides look slick and professional, but it can't actually help you with the hard part, crafting the story, pulling out the key points from a dense report, or building a logical narrative from scratch. It basically leaves you, the user, doing all the heavy cognitive lifting before the AI even gets to do its thing. Let's use Beautiful AI as our baseline here. Look, its strength is obvious. It has a simple, clean interface, and it makes absolutely stunning visuals, no doubt about it. But for a lot of us, the cons are pretty significant. It completely fails to solve that content gap. You can't just feed it a document and have it build a presentation. And honestly, it can get really sluggish with bigger decks. Not to mention, it's missing some of those key collaboration features we expect now. So, if the problem is all about content, then what's the solution? Well, this brings us to a tool that takes a completely different approach because it's built to tackle that content problem head-on, right from the start. The best way to think about this tool is with a really simple but powerful analogy. It's basically ChatGPT for PowerPoint. Just like how you can ask ChatGPT to write an email or summarize an article, this tool uses that same kind of AI power to generate entire presentations. We're talking structure, themes, content, the whole shebang, all from a simple prompt. So what really makes it different is how it works. See, Twistly AI isn't another separate website you have to learn and log into. It's an add-in that lives right inside Microsoft PowerPoint. It works within the software you already know and use every day. This is huge because it totally solves the adoption hurdle. There's no big retraining for your team. The AI does the heavy lifting of drafting and structuring, and get this, it can generate a full deck from a chunk of text, a PDF, a Word doc, or even by analyzing the transcript of a YouTube video. Okay, so that's the generalist, all-rounder approach. But what about the tools that are designed for more specific niche jobs? Let's take a look at a few of the other top contenders and see how they stack up. You can really see the trade-offs pretty clearly here with these three. You've got Pitch, which is a powerhouse for sales teams who need live data in their decks, but it's complex and probably overkill for day-to-day use. Then there's Wonderslide, which is really good for just spicing up a deck you've already made, but its workflow is kind of clunky. And finally, you have Visme, which gives you incredible visual control, but it's really geared towards actual designers. And sometimes things can break when you try to export it back to PowerPoint. Let's just zoom in on that workflow issue for a second. With a tool like Wonderslide, the process is a whole song and dance. First, you have to upload your file to their website. Then, you edit it online using their tools. Then, you download the finished version back to your computer, and you have to repeat that entire cycle for every single major change. Now, contrast that with Twistly. Because it's integrated right in, the workflow is just simpler. Step 1, you open PowerPoint. Step 2, you generate your slides with the add-in. That's it. The difference in friction, in the number of steps, is just night and day. Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've defined the big problem, we've compared the top contenders, so now it's time to bring it all home. Let's get to the final verdict and figure out how you can choose the right tool for you. The big takeaway here is that the best tool really, truly depends on what you need to do. If your main goal, and for probably half of us, this is it, is just seamless content creation inside a workflow you already know, then Twistly AI is looking like a really strong choice. For those high-stakes, data-heavy sales pitches, Pitch is definitely your tool. If you're a designer and you want total creative freedom, Visme is the powerhouse. And if you just want to jazz up a deck you've already made, Wonderslide has its place. So when we step back and look at the whole landscape, the analysis really points to Twistly AI as the top general purpose tool. And the reasoning is simple. It solves the core content problem, not just the design problem. And, this is key, it does it without forcing you to learn a whole new ecosystem. And this really gets at a much bigger trend. The future of productivity AI probably isn't about building yet another separate platform that we have to migrate all our work to. It's about deeply integrating powerful, smart AI directly into the tools we already live and breathe in every single day. So, we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. We've seen how this idea can completely redefine presentation software. But now, think about your own world. What's that one piece of software you rely on every day? Is it your spreadsheet program, your project management tool, your code editor? What tool could be completely transformed if it suddenly got smart about generating the actual content and not just helping you format it?